Could Alberta, Canada, become the 51st state? There's a push for Alberta to secede from Canada, and residents there say they have enough signatures to do it. Thanks for joining us this morning. Good to see you. I'm Vanessa Broussard. The oil-rich province has long clashed with Ottawa over policy, taxes, and federal regulations, but now things are escalating into talk of independence. If enough signatures are confirmed, Alberta voters could head to the ballot box later this year. Now, right now, the group Stay Free Alberta says it has submitted over 300,000 signatures to trigger a referendum. The movement argues Western Canadians are being ignored by the federal government in Ottawa, while opponents warn a breakup effort could trigger economic chaos, constitutional battles, and serious legal fights. The growing push is already drawing comparisons to the historic Quebec separation battles, and it's now becoming one of the biggest political stories in Canada. And there's a lot of chatter on if Alberta could become our 51st state. A lot of talk online. So let's see what would happen for that to happen. Alberta would first need to separate from Canada successfully. Canada would have to negotiate the terms of separation. Then our Congress would have to approve admitting Alberta as a state. Alberta residents would also likely need to approve joining the U.S. So a lot would have to go on for that to happen. But right now, the actual movement in Alberta is mostly focused on independence from Canada. Now, the 51st state idea gets talked about online because Alberta is heavily oil and gas driven. It's politically more conservative than much of Canada, and it's culturally closer in some ways to parts of the American West. So technically, yes, it could become the 51st state, but realistically, the hurdles make it very unlikely. Now to another major redistricting battle unfolding, this time in South Carolina. A lot going on there, where lawmakers are preparing to take up a proposed congressional map that could strengthen Republican control in the U.S. House. Today, South Carolina lawmakers will take up this proposed map. The plan would eliminate a Democratic-leaning seat represented by longtime Congressman Jim Clyburn. He's one of the most influential Democrats in Washington and a key ally to former President Otto Penn Biden. Now, if approved, it would give the GOP a gain in the House. And there's more. Let's head to Alabama. The U.S. Supreme Court has handed Alabama Republicans a major win in a redistricting battle there. The court ruled 6-3 to lift a lower court order that had blocked Alabama from using a Republican-backed congressional map that critics argued diluted Black voting power. The decision sends the case back to lower courts for reconsidering. The ruling could allow Alabama to move from 2 Black opportunity congressional districts back to 1, potentially helping Republicans gain another House seat.
For years, federal courts have forced Alabama to draw its congressional and legislative maps around race, ordering the state to create majority-minority districts under the Voting Rights Act. We have fought for years against courts forcing Alabama to sort its citizens by race, and we were right to fight. On April 29th, the United States Supreme Court issued a landmark ruling in Louisiana versus Calais. The court confirmed what we have been arguing for years. States cannot be forced to gerrymander by race. Challengers to a state's map must now prove that race, not partisan politics, actually drove the state's decisions. That is a watershed moment for Alabama, but we didn't celebrate. Instead, we went to work. The very next day, April 30th, we went straight to the United States Supreme Court with emergency motions in 3 separate cases. We asked the court to lift the injunctions blocking Alabama from using the map our legislature lawfully enacted. On May 4th, we filed an emergency motion with the 11th Circuit to lift the injunctions on our state Senate map, asking for a ruling before our May 19th primary. On May 5th, we went back to the district court itself and asked it to stay its own orders on the congressional map while the appeals proceeded. On May 7th, we filed a reply brief in the 11th Circuit dismantling every argument the NAACP raised, argument by argument, and making clear their legal theories wrong. And on May 9th, we went back to the Supreme Court with emergency applications, asking the court to immediately block the race-based court-drawn congressional map before May 19th. This afternoon, they did just that. Let's be clear about what happened here. Alabama originally drew its maps around geography and communities, the Gulf Coast, the Black Belt, the Wiregrass, and a federal court punished us for it. Today, the Supreme Court vindicated the state's long-held position. Now, the power to draw Alabama's maps goes back to the people's elected representatives. That's our legislature. For too long, unelected federal judges have had more say over Alabama's elections than Alabama's voters. That ended today. My job in this office was to put the legislature in the best possible legal position to draw a congressional map that favors Republicans 7-0. My office has never taken the charge of our state motto lightly. We dare defend our rights. Stay tuned.
So that's Alabama. Heading over to Virginia now. Their maps are now heading to the Supreme Court of the United States. Virginia Democrats have officially filed an emergency appeal asking for the nation's highest court to reinstate newly approved congressional maps that were struck down just last week by the Virginia Supreme Court. The proposed map for Virginia would heavily favor Democrats, shifting from 6-5 split to 10-1. But the Virginia Supreme Court struck down that proposed map, saying lawmakers violated constitutional procedure when putting the amendment before voters. Now it's up to the Supreme Court of the United States to decide. So the battle continues in Virginia. Now to New Jersey. This state hasn't made headlines yet. It's quietly being discussed behind the scenes. Democratic leaders there are signaling that they may also enter the growing nationwide battle over maps. Governor Maggie Sherrill recently indicated she is opening to revisiting New Jersey's districts. Now, right now, Democrats there hold a 9-3 advantage. No official new map has been unveiled. So a lot of movement on maps. I know it's hard to follow, but we're going to keep you updated as best we can. Right now, it's looking good for Republicans if they can get these maps done in time for November. Senator John Thune, he showed up on Capitol Hill, not to pass the Save America Act, but he did do something, which is good. He got the ball rolling to make sure that when there is a government shutdown, Congress doesn't get paid either. Watch. We don't have that, but there were basically 2 back-to-back shutdowns in the last 6 months, one being the longest in history. And while Congress played politics, American workers weren't getting paid, as you recall. There's been a push for that to end. So the Americans are saying, if you control the paychecks, you shouldn't get paid either. So Senator John Thune is moving that forward. In other news this morning, the man accused of attempting to assassinate President Trump during last month's White House Correspondents' Dinner has pleaded not guilty. Prosecutors say 31-year-old Cole Thomas Allen traveled to Washington, D.C. from California, armed with multiple weapons, and attempted to breach security at the Washington Hilton. Authorities allege Allen fired at a Secret Service agent near a checkpoint before being subdued. The agent was struck in a ballistic vest. He survived. He's doing well. As you know, President Trump, the First Lady, and top administration officials were inside, all unharmed, thank God. Allen pleaded not guilty to attempted assassination of the president, assault on a federal officer, and firearm-related charges. If convicted, he could spend life in prison. Now to a parent alert. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton is suing Netflix, accusing the streaming giant of illegally collecting and monetizing user data, including data tied to children, without consent. The lawsuit claims Netflix secretly tracked users' viewing habits, devices, household networks, and app usage, collected data from children's profiles, shared or sold that data to advertisers and data brokers, and use addictive features like autoplay to keep users watching longer, especially our children. Paxton's office says Netflix falsely marketed itself for years as a privacy-friendly, ad-free platform while building a massive data operation behind the scenes. Netflix has responded, saying the lawsuit is without merit, and they insist that it complies with privacy laws worldwide. Netflix also defended its parental controls and kid safety features. President Trump held a healthcare-focused event in the Oval Office centered on maternal health care, fertility access, and lowering prescription drug costs. He enacted groundbreaking child care reforms to improve federal child care programs, including Head Start. Watch.
Today, we're also enacting groundbreaking child care reforms to improve federal child care programs, including Head Start and Child Care Development Fund that goes to each state. It's big stuff. These reforms will give states more flexible, lower costs, increase options, and empower parents to choose what care works best for them. There's a lot of options that you're going to have. Under this plan, you have, I think, pretty much maximum, Heidi, I think maximum options. And that's what we're looking for, maximum options at the lowest cost. And you've got a cost that if you were here a year ago, or if you were here like during the last administration, you're talking about a cost that would be 8 to 10 times more expensive than what we're doing. And same exact prescription, same exact medicine, same care at 10%. It'll also free up child care funding for hundreds of thousands of additional children to support stay-at-home parents. In recognition of this ambitious agenda to support American mothers, today we're announcing a new website that is online right now. It's moms.gov. moms.gov. You could.
As for fertility treatment, millions of struggling families spend tens of thousands of dollars to go through processes like in vitro fertilization. Now there's a new optimal fertility benefit for employers aimed at helping workers access fertility treatments and reproductive health care coverage. Now, before, families were having to pay out of pocket. Now that's.
But since we launched the website just a few months ago, over 19,000 Americans have used those fertility medicines and discounts and saved more than $15 million just in a short period of time, a matter of weeks. The Council of Economic Advisors projects that the number will rise to $4.6 billion over a fairly small number of years. Nobody's ever seen anything like this.
So you can now save money to create a family. And President Trump just mentioned it. We told you about it yesterday, that newly launched federal website for mothers. It's moms.gov. This website, again, was announced just yesterday. It's a place for expectant moms and new moms to go to get advice and also get information for your growing family. A lot of good resources right there on that website. And as you know, families have changed over the years. Mothers are now working, trying to juggle careers and families, whereas before, many decades ago, most moms stayed home while husbands provided for their families. Our Cara Castronova is with Emma Waters of the Heritage Foundation, and she's talking to her today about motherhood.
Hey everybody, Cara Castronova with LINDELLTV here at the Heritage Foundation with Emma Waters. She is the author of the book Lead Like JL, and she is a policy advisor here at the Heritage Foundation. We're talking about her book today and policies that the Trump administration can possibly look at to increase the birth rate in America, to build families, and everything traditional that has sort of been lost. Thank you so much for sitting down with me today.
Of course. Thanks so much for having me.
So, Emma, birth rates are at a historical low. Have modern women been sold a lie about, quote unquote, having it all?
Without a doubt, women today are being told that they have every choice available to them. And in many cases they do, but they've not actually been given a meaningful life script where they can make sense of all of the options before them and structure it in a way that actually puts family first. So for years now, ever since Sheryl Sandberg's Lean In movement of the 2010 onwards, we've told women that not only can they have it all, but career should come first, whether that's in the actual decisions that they're making or just in the mindset that we're taking on as a culture where we say the most essential thing about you is the work that you do. And while we really highly value work, the unintended consequence of that movement has been the deprioritization of the family. And so I think it's been interesting seeing how the cultural changes have played out, where women, because they've been sold this career first message, feel this constant pressure to navigate not only their career, but then also getting married and having kids, and are finding themselves so incredibly burnt out from the expectations that have been placed upon them, that many women are waking up and asking the question of, well, what actually is out there for me that is a more humane approach that allows me me to have kids and get married, but still do the work that I love, but not feel like it's such an all or nothing decision between the two.
So what is the solution in your opinion? Should women work? Should they find a balance between work and raising a family? What's the solution?
Yeah, so I think this is one of the areas of the last 20 years that have been so interesting, because on the one hand, you have this girl boss feminism movement that I just described, where it says your career comes first and it defines you. But since 2020, when the COVID pandemic literally sent everyone back to their homes, we saw the rise of the online trad wife movement, which was quite contrary to girl boss feminism and actually provided a very different and yet still very rigid script of what it means to succeed as a woman. And so among the among the trad wives, they have this idea that you must be a full-time stay-at-home mom, you shouldn't work, you should raise your kids, have a homesteading farm, and that's what success looks like. Now, I think a lot of people do that and do it really well without ever associating themselves with the online side of the movement, but the reality is that's not accessible for most women or even necessarily desirable. But what's really struck me is that we have this tendency to want to find these rigid definitions of what it means to be a woman and then try to impose that on every woman in America and say that success looks like meeting these external markers in a way that I think actually doesn't serve most women well. And so in Lead Like JL and a lot of the work that I do, I really make the case for a seasonal approach to life that puts first things first. And so in my case, like I'm married, I have very small children. And so in this season especially, my work and everything I do is centered around what's best for my children and what's best for the flourishing of our home. So it's a lot of remote and home-based work, flexible work, to really be able to prioritize time with my girls throughout the day. And that's something I'm very grateful I have the option to do, because that's not the case for everyone. But I think the goal of the book and a lot of my work is to really inspire a conversation around what are the duties and responsibilities of your given season, and then how do you navigate that in a way that actually restores the centrality of the home and has work flow from that. And so for some reason, women, that's going to mean working full time. For some women, that means not working at all. And for a lot of women, who I dub as the silent majority in America, it's going to be this creative mix of the two, where they're doing flexible or contract work or part-time work, raising kids and prioritizing their home, and this really amazing modern mix that is possible because of the developments in technology and work reforms that we've seen. But I shy away from any sort of like rigid definition, because I think part of the problem in our culture today is that we've flocked too easily to those extremes and not actually taken into account a real woman and like her particular needs and wants in a given season.
This is a wonderful interview for all mothers to watch. You can watch it in its entirety. Follow us on social media. It's posted there. This week marks National Police Week, honoring law enforcement officers killed in the line of duty and also supporting surviving families. President Trump spoke last night in the Rose Garden specifically to kick off the week and to remember our heroes.
We're gathered here to begin Police Week. Very important, my friends. I won about 98% of the police in this country, and we're trying to figure out who are the other 2%, because nobody can figure that one out. Figure that. And we pay tribute to the heroes who keep America safe, and they are heroes indeed. This week especially, our thoughts turn to the officers who gave their lives in the line of duty, to all of the incredible police officers, sheriffs, deputies, law enforcement officers, all law enforcement. We want to thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I respect nobody more than I respect you. Without you, we have Bedlam. Without you, we have Somalia.
FBI Director Kash Patel also releasing a video to kick off the week of remembrance.
Hi, I'm Kash Patel, the 9th Director of the FBI. It's my incredible honor to join America in kicking off Police Week 2026. Each May, we pause to commemorate the incredible dedication and bravery of our law enforcement communities across the country. It's a special time to honor the heroes who face danger day after day, those who stand on the front lines and shield our citizens from the dangers that threaten our peace and safety. Over this last year, I've had the privilege of meeting countless federal, state, local, tribal, and territorial law enforcement officers across the nation. Without exception, these men and women are the reason we are the safest we've been in a long time. Every day, they put on the badge and uniform and do their jobs with honor, integrity, and dedication to the communities they call home. These brothers and sisters in blue serve a mission that all of us in law enforcement share. the mission to create a safer America. But too often, they give up their lives for that mission. Last year, 53 law enforcement officers in our country were feloniously killed in the line of duty, and another 28 heroes tragically suffered accidental deaths while protecting and serving their communities. Each of those sacrifices has had a profound and far-reaching consequence. Each loss has touched us all deeply and left behind a legacy we'll never forget. These heroes left for work knowing they might not make it home, that a routine traffic stop or search warrant could turn deadly. And yet they showed up for the American people the way all of our nation's officers keep showing up for us every day. That kind of dedication deserves to be recognized. So to all of our law enforcement colleagues, past and present, and their families, the FBI is honored to serve alongside you and inspired by the dedication you show every single day. Thanks to the work you all do 24/7, 365 days a year, and to the Trump administration who always backs the blue. I'm here to tell you, as I've done before, if you touch a cop, we're going to put you down. Backing the blue is here to stay. We're here with you, shoulder to shoulder, as we accomplish our shared mission to protect our nation. Thank you for serving.
Peace Officer Memorial Day is Friday. There will be a major event in Washington, D.C., and actually events all across the country. In the nation's capital on Wednesday, the 38th annual Candlelight Vigil will take place at the National Mall. Then on Friday, the National Peace Officers Memorial Service will take place in front of the Capitol. It's also National Transportation Week. We talked to blues hitmaker Christopher Wise about his new song out, saluting truckers. That's here on My Mornings next. Stay with us.
Talk is cheap when it comes to saving our country. We're not just any cell phone service provider. We're Patriot Mobile. It's not enough to simply talk about values. We live them. Defending life, protecting our First and Second Amendments, and celebrating our military and first responder heroes. We're boots on the ground making a difference. We're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider with nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks and 100% US-based customer service. Join Patriot Mobile today and make an impact every time you use your cell phone.
America's founders warned that without knowledge and virtue, no nation can remain free. Yet through the steady infiltration of Marxist ideology, we have been stripped of both, and we are no longer a moral and educated people. To save America, we must spark nothing less than a national renaissance. That's why you need Freedom Talk Magazine, the journal of truth and virtue. We cultivate enlightened thinking and principled living, offering unique insights into the issues and remarkable people defining our world. Sign up today for your free subscription to Freedom Talk Magazine and join the new American Renaissance.
You know, most people think water's just about filtration, but in reality, it's about balance. What gets removed, what gets left behind, and how the water actually behaves once you drink it. Well, many traditional systems focus on one thing, removal. Reverse osmosis, for example, strips water down completely. It may sound ideal, but it removes minerals that our bodies need. The Century Wellness System was designed with a different philosophy. It removes common contaminants like chlorine, fluoride, and PFAS while restoring key minerals like magnesium and improving alkalinity. It also does all this without tanks and without wastewater and without requiring a complicated installation. It installs in about 15 minutes under your sink, so instead of overcorrecting, it brings your water back into balance. Please visit CenturyH2O.com and use promo code Lindell for 10% off your next purchase. Well, hello, everyone. Well, I'm turning 65, and let me tell you, Medicare has me confused. All the junk mail and the robocalls and everything else, it honestly feels like they rigged the system just to confuse us. Well, that's why I partnered and working with Chapter. They're independent, and they don't work for big insurance. They work for us. In fact, they're the only advisor that compares every single plan nationwide to find what actually fits your needs. If you're on the right plan, they tell you. If you're not, they're going to help you switch. And it's completely free. Just last year, seniors saved about $1,100 by finding a better plan with Chapter. So call Chapter at 234-LINDELL or go to askchapter.org/Lindell. Mike Lindell here. The radical left and the deep state aren't just coming for our freedoms, they're coming after our money too. For years, they've been destroying our economy from the inside out with reckless spending, open borders, woke policies that crush our businesses. And now they've left us with an inflation disaster that's wiping out the savings of our hardworking families. They don't want us to be independent. They want us to be dependent on the government. Well, that's not going to happen on my watch. That's why I partner with American Independence Gold. It's a veteran-owned company that's helping patriotic Americans fight back by protecting our savings with real physical gold and silver. And right now they're giving away up to $15,000 in free silver and a free gold IRA kit. A portion of all the profits go to 9/11 first responders and veterans at the Tunnels to Towers Foundation. The deep state can't touch your gold, so visit MikeLindellGold.com or call 844-714-4653 right now. That's MikeLindellGold.com. Take back control.
Welcome to Vocal, the free speech social app that gives you a platform to amplify your voice. Speak freely, connect boldly, and be part of a growing movement for truth, faith, and freedom. Want to know what's happening right now? The Now Playing feature shows you exactly who's live and what's streaming in real time. Check out the show's feed, a non-stop lineup including LINDELLTV News 24/7, shows and on-demand programming all in one place. Connect with your favorite host and never miss a show. Explore the featured page for quick access to LINDELLTV's top shows. Follow your favorites and watch their newest content flow right into your feed. And when they go live on Vocal, you can join the live chat and be part of the action. Ask questions, share your thoughts, even help shape future shows. Stay informed on issues around securing our elections by following your state's Cause of America account. Join a group and connect on a deeper level, from faith and freedom to the future of our nation. Go to vocal.com or download the app today and be a part of the mission to save our country.
This Friday is National Defense Transportation Day, recognizing the entire transportation industry, including truckers. Blues hitmaker Christopher Wise with Christopher Wise and the Tellers is with us here this morning to tell us all about a new song they have out. Christopher, hello. Good to see you. Good morning. You are saluting the truckers. I love it. Tell us all about your new song.
Well, it's a song I wrote that's really a tribute to truckers. And even though I'm not a trucker, I see them every day, and I write stories, and I imagine what that world must have been like, or for all these truckers out there. It's actually millions of them. There's 3 to 4 million of them on the road. And so my story is a tribute about a person who, you know, he's out there every day, or she's out there every day grinding out the miles and doing the work for us.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. 3.5 million truckers drive across the United States every single day. And you can't even imagine, they have to leave their families, but the beauties of America that they see, that the roads and roads for miles and miles, different states, it's got to be a rewarding job at the same time.
Well, you can see a little from our video there, but you know, in the lyrics of the song, I say, when your life is the road and your road is the life, you live a windshield movie. And so that is their world. You know, they get to see America. And a lot of times, Vanessa, there you are, and here I am sitting indoors. But the truckers out there on the road, they get to see a heck of a lot of our beautiful country out there. And that's kind of cool. But they pay a sacrifice for it, too. You know, they're often away from friends and family. And so that was what the song was about that life. And there's our trucker going down the road right there.
Yes, and you know, you see them at the truck stops as well. A lot of these truckers, they spend the night in their trucks, and then they hit the road the next day, driving for hours on end. So we want to talk about your song. What's the name of this song? And then we're going to take a quick listen to some of it.
It's called Soul on the Road, and that really speaks to what these folks are. They're souls out there on the road, but they're real people. And I think we forget that when we're zooming down the highway sometime. You got millions of these souls out there doing the work for us.
All right, let's take a listen.
I met a fella, he told a story about life on the road, of trucking, toting boxes that never carry no load, feet always moving, and roots that never grow, a mark never left, no place to go. I met a fella, he lived his days collecting miles, not friends. No wife, no kids, just a road that never ends.
Christopher, I have to tell you, I'm from the South, and this is a good song that we're used to listening to, this type of music down here in Texas. And so, wonderful song. People can go to your YouTube and hear it there. Where else can they get the full song?
Anywhere you stream or download music, it's everywhere in the world, and that's great. It's had a nice reception, and we recorded that in Mississippi there, Vanessa. That was in Clarksdale, Mississippi, with my friend Carrie Hudson on guitar there, my co-writer.
I knew it when I saw the video. It had to be somewhere in the South. I love it. Okay, so we love our truckers. I love your song. It is a week to really support the truckers is this week. You know, we talked about some of the stats that 3.5 million truckers drive in the U.S. Around 73%, Christopher, of all U.S. freight is moved by trucks. 8 million jobs support trucking. So this is an industry, like you said earlier, we often forget about because we see them on the roads. We just drive right past them and really don't think much of it. But these truckers are very important to our economy and to just the American ways of life.
Yeah, they are. And, a lot of them are small business people. And, as a musician, one of the things that occurs to me is they listen to a heck of a lot of music when they're on the road. So for me and all my fellow musicians, we love what you do out there. And we're happy that maybe for a few minutes each day, we can brighten that up a little. Vanessa, they listen to a lot of news and all sorts of things too. But it's a heck of a big audience out there. And I'm just glad that sometimes somebody tunes us in and listens to us when they're rolling down the road,
I love it because it's good, relaxing music as well. Tell us about your band.
My band is called Christopher Wise and the Tellers. And the reason we call ourselves the Tellers is we tell stories, Vanessa. And that's what the root of my music is. There it is, Christopher Wise and the Tellers. That's from our live album, filmed right there and recorded inside that thing you see. That's an old cotton gin. So you know what? We play the blues. We tell stories. It's a tribute to the music of the South and especially the Mississippi Delta. And in fact, on Sunday, I will head to the Mississippi Delta to make more music. I'm working on my next album that'll be coming out sometime later in the year or perhaps early next year. But I actually write my songs in Mississippi. There's something about the music of the Delta that just takes me over, and I have such great respect for that music and where it came from. So I'm heading back down. Can't wait to get there.
Well, you'll have to come back on whenever your new album comes out. Can't wait for that. Do you think that there's still a need? People love this type of music. And when you listen to the radio now, you hear a lot of new songs coming out from these newer artists. But there's completely different than what you do and what I'm used to, what I grew up on. But there's still this need for the type of music that you put out.
Well, I really appreciate that. And I so believe in it. As part of that live album we did, I actually filmed a 50-minute documentary about Clarksdale, Mississippi, and we produced that just to expose people to this amazing American music known as the blues. And, without the blues, there would be no rock and roll. There would be none of this offshoot music from rock and roll. So to me, it all traces back to the blues and to America. And it's funny when you go to Clarksdale, Mississippi, any given day of the week, I would say more than half of the people there are from outside the U.S. So many people in Europe and around the world love American blues music. And I wish it was a little more loved here, but there's a bunch of us out here making it. And I encourage everybody to listen to it. It's really American music.
Well, I think that the true American spirit is still out there, and we love that older music still. And there is a need for it, and I'm so glad you're putting out music. It's such good music. Again, if people want to follow your other songs as well, they can go to your YouTube page. Tell us about some of your other music, because it's all there.
Well, it's all blues. We got songs like Cotton Ain't King, which, we used to think of the South, cotton being king, especially down at the Delta. And the moral of that story, and I said I do stories, is that, you know what? Cotton ain't king. Blues is the king. So we've got songs like Back to Clarksdale, which for me really changed my life, going to the Mississippi Delta and learning the blues music and learning to play the blues and write blues music. So go back to Clarksdale with some of our music. Some of these stories are personal, like Good Friend Gone, a friend of mine who was a dear friend, made some bad decisions. And I'm here singing the blues, and he's not with us anymore. So, there's all sorts of stories of the blues. And I kind of think of the blues as maybe the original talk therapy. When you get your troubles out there and you sing about it or you talk about it, you feel better. And when you hear it, you feel better too. So that's what our music's about.
All right, I think we lost Christopher. Okay, we got you back. That was a quick glitch there. So people can go to your YouTube, check out more of your music, and then on your website, for people to go there, they can also see your music there, where you may be touring. Tell us what we can find on your website.
Well, I write that stuff so you can find everything that we've said about the Tellers, bios, reviews of our albums, and we have 2 of them out there now and 1 more coming. You can learn about all the folks in the band, and you can get to all of our music and all of our social channels. And it's ChristopherWise.com, ChristopherWise, WYZE.com. That's where it all happens. And there you can see I'm in Tutwiler, Mississippi right there. That is where purportedly W.C. Handy from St. Louis, as we know him, but he was born or grew up in Clarksdale, was said to have discovered the blues right there at that train track in Clarksdale, Mississippi, Tutwiler, in fact, in 1903. You'll see pictures of that area and all sorts of stuff like that on our website.
Christopher, you're making my heart sing. You keep talking about Mississippi and the Delta, and that is right up my alley. I love it. Everyone go check out his new song. This is the way to go, especially this week as we honor our transportation department, our truckers out there. What a great song to put out, especially this week. Christopher, good to have you on the show. Thanks for stopping by today.
Thanks, Vanessa. Great to be with you.
And more news to come when we come back. And as we go to break, we want to hear more from Christopher Wise with his new song, Soul on the Road. Stay with us.
9 to 5, working hard. When your life is the road, and the road is your life, you live a windshield movie. And what the heck's an ex-wife? Regrets, yeah, I have them. He said I am what I am. A soul on the road. Next stop, Birmingham. I met a fella, he's in a hurry. He said, I gotta go. Cargo to move. This here's the show. Well, I'd like to get to know you, but those days have passed me by. But don't you worry about me. Home's the sweet by and by. When your life is the road, and the road is your life, you live a windshield movie. And brother, what the hell is an ex-wife? Regrets, yeah, I have them. He said I am what I am. A soul on the road. Next stop, Birmingham.
It's finally here, our second annual mega sale. This sale only comes around once a year, so take advantage of the best offers ever while you can. For example, save 50% on our Giza Dream bed sheets, as low as $29.98. And for the first time ever on TV, My Pillow mattresses and My Pillow mattress toppers, as low as $99.98. And you save 50% on our Lux Pure 6-piece towel sets. Regular $69.98, now only $39.98. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, regular $49.98, on sale for $17.98. Wait on it, mega sale, only $14.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our second annual mega sale. But wait, there's more. To make the mega sale even more special, when you order right now, your order's going to ship absolutely free.
When you read one news source, you get one side. When you read two sources, you get an argument. Read 40 sources, and you get the truth. LindellReport.com, the only place you ever need to visit for your news. From LINDELLTV, over 40 trusted outlets in one place. No editorial gatekeepers, no hidden bias. Just the day's news. Balanced, unfiltered, ready when you are. Whether you lean left, right, or straight down the middle, this is where you start your day. One click, one feed, one truth. The decision is yours. LindellReport.com. The news you need, the balance you deserve.
Too many pharmacies and insurance companies are blocking the medications that actually work. That's why I recommend All Family Pharmacy. They give you access to treatments like ivermectin now, starting at just $2 a capsule. They also have methylene blue, hydroxychloroquine, and so much more. They're helping you stay prepared, and they've dropped their prices by 25%. Also use promo code Lindell10, you save even more. Go to allfamilypharmacy.com/Lindell. Use promo code Lindell10 and get the medicine you need.
Welcome to Vocal, the free speech social app that gives you a platform to amplify your voice. Speak freely, connect boldly, and be part of a growing movement for truth, faith, and freedom. Want to know what's happening right now? The Now Playing feature shows you exactly who's live and what's streaming in real time. Check out the show's feed, a non-stop lineup including Lindell TV News 24/7, shows and on-demand programming all in one place. Connect with your favorite host and never miss a show. Explore the featured page for quick access to Lindell TV's top shows. Follow your favorites and watch their newest content flow right into your feed. And when they go live on Vocal, you can join the live chat and be part of the action. Ask questions, share your thoughts, even help shape future shows. Stay informed on issues around securing our elections by following your state's Cause of America account. Join a group and connect on a deeper level, from faith and freedom to the future of our nation. Go to vocal.com or download the app today and be a part of the mission to save our country.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Lindell TV. Today we have one of our newest and greatest sponsors here, American Independence Gold, and here to tell us why you need gold in 2026 and silver is David Harper, the co-founder of Independence Gold, American Independence Gold. David, welcome back. I'm going to let you kind of take the floor here. Why do we need gold right now? I mean, and silver. Why do we need these precious metals, these safeguards, and at this time?
Great question, Mike. Thanks for having us on once again. Always good to see you. Many reasons to have gold, physical gold and silver this year, specifically geopolitical turmoil that's happening. National deficit is above $39 trillion. We've already seen high records with gold, almost at 6,000. We saw silver trading around 120. It's a perfect time to take advantage of the dip. One thing that a lot of folks do not understand and are not familiar with is the deep shadow machine that's fundamentally trying to change America. We have foreign powers that are influencing not only the children, but the middle class, and including folks that are online. They use TikTok, AI bots. They're creating anger, divide within the country. They're leading us to a civil war. And so you have to have some type of insurance that's outside the banking system, because a lot of this is funded by the banking system itself. We had the Federal Reserve created, in 1919. They control monetary policies. They control actions within the political spectrum that's uncovering and especially the fraud that's happening throughout the world that's being funneled back into the Democrats. So they're doing everything in their power to destroy the country within. And so having physical gold and silver is having that policy that you control. You're avoiding the third party, the counterparty risk, something that's been
I'm gonna cut in right there, everybody. You know what? My pillow and myself, we have been debanked 4 times by our own government back with Biden in 2022, 2023, and 4. You guys, this was under Operation Arctic Frost. So what Dave is talking about here, it's very real. And I used to have physical silver and gold, saving it for a rainy day. But with me, it started raining. So I had to cash it all in. But this is what we're talking about here. It's a safety net. If I had anything out left myself, I would be going right now to MikeLindellGold.com and getting on board, getting some physical gold and silver for such a time as this. I know exactly what you're saying, David, but I just was excited to hear that because it's happening to me. It happened, and exactly what you're talking about. And had I did not have that, you guys, my gold that I bought a couple years earlier, I needed to cash that in. That was it. That was my safety net. And obviously, I went through the safety net and everything else now. But continue on, David. This hits home for me. It really does.
Right. Well, for your listeners and viewers, every purchase over $10,000, you get a free gold bar. We are veteran owned and operated. We are the one and only true partnership gold company with Tunnel to Towers. So proceeds from each sale are donated to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, helping first responders and those that served our country get financing and free homes.
Right on. Well, so everybody, go to MikeLindellGold.com. When they get there, you can claim your free gold bar if you qualify. And you guys, I vet every single sponsors that come on here and that have come to help out Lindell TV and keep our programming going. And look at our great Rudy Giuliani, everybody. That he was right there at 9/11. What you're talking about, that you're helping with everything sold. And but I want to say, you guys, these guys are the best here at American Independence Gold. They treat every customer like their only customer. This is what I really enjoyed hearing. I'm going, wow, you match me for everything on that respect. And David, we're going to have you back on soon, but it's MikeLindellGold.com. Everybody, go there now. It's free to go there and check it out, and you're going to want to check it out. I had that safety net. You're going to all need that safety net. There's nothing better than getting physical silver and gold at the time such as this. So thank you, David, and we'll see you again soon.
Welcome back to My Mornings. Let's see how the markets are opening today. Looking at opening bell numbers from MarketWatch.com. Looking at the Dow, the S&P 500, NASDAQ, all down at this hour. Make note that oil prices are climbing again amid concerns the Iran ceasefire could collapse. And Treasury yields are ticking higher as well amid inflation concerns. Yesterday, though, it looked different on the big board. The S&P 500 closed at another all-time high, and the NASDAQ also finished at record levels driven by AI and chip stocks. Stocks to watch today: Intel, NVIDIA, Zebra Technologies, and retail names like Walmart and Target. So be watching those stocks. All in all, Wall Street is waking up cautious this morning after a great day yesterday. In your news to go, a quick glimpse at some headlines. A big day for President Trump. At 8 o'clock this morning, he held an executive meeting at the White House. At 11 a.m., he will conduct an interview for print. And following that, he will leave the White House for Beijing for that high-stakes meeting with China President Xi. That is coming up this afternoon when he leaves the White House. It's also been released that delegates like Elon Musk will be making the trip with the president. We will have full coverage of his trip to China and his meeting with Xi all week long. So make sure you're sticking right here with Lindell TV for the latest on that. The White House has also released a statement regarding the president's annual medical exam. On May 26th, President Trump will visit Walter Reed National Military Medical Center for his annual dental and medical exams. This will include his routine assessments as part of his regular preventive health care. The president will also spend time with service members while he's there. And so that will be a great trip. And then we'll look for those records to be released from his doctors after his medical exams. Carrie Lake has been nominated by the president to be the next ambassador to Jamaica. Carrie posted on X that she is honored to continue serving in the Trump administration and that she looks forward to strengthening U.S.-Jamaica relations if confirmed by the Senate. As you know, if she's nominated by the president, which she has been, she now has to be confirmed by the Senate. Carrie Lake has been heading up the U.S. Agency for Global Media, which oversees Voice of America. So big nomination there. For all your top headlines throughout the day, you can always log on to LINDELLTV.com. We have everything you need to know right there on the website. You can also download the Lindell TV app. It is free in your app store. Now, as we start to close out the show, we end the day, as we always do, with our Bible verse of the day. And today's Bible verse comes from the book of John. The Bible says this: "For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not burdensome. For whatever is born of God overcomes the world. And this is the victory that has overcome the world, our faith." So always keep the faith, the Bible says so. I want to remind you, if you want to do some shopping as you start planning for the summer months with the kids out of school, you can always go to mypillow.com. Use the promo code Vanessa for extra savings. There you can find so many great deals going on right now. I receive an email every day and wish I could buy everything on the website. It's so good. Look, already in the works from Mike and his team over at MyPillow. Save 50%, free shipping as well. There are those delicious Rev 7 energy drinks you can get. The My Slippers are personally my favorite. They are so comfortable. Wear them every single day. My Slippers on sale right now as well. Everything you need. And in fact, I was having a conversation yesterday with someone who's getting ready to move into a dorm room in college next year. And I said, go get everything you need on mypillow.com. You can get bedding, things for kitchens, you name it, bathroom, all there on the website from Mike Lindell, MyPillow. Use the promo code Vanessa for extra savings. I also want to remind you, you can go to mystore.com. New entrepreneurs have been added. So we want to support our great American entrepreneurs. Mike Lindell has exclusively handpicked these business owners to sell their American-made products on his My Store website. So go there and do some shopping. That Vanessa promo will work there as well, where you can get some extra savings. And also a reminder, if you're on the internet today, you can follow me on social media. I'm there all day long. Love talking to our viewers. You can give me a follow, message me on X, Focal, Truth Social, Instagram, and YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube. We're actually live there right now, so never miss a beat on my social media pages. And that'll do it for us here this morning. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. We leave you today with sights from Utah. Have a great day.
Talk is cheap when it comes to saving our country. We're not just any cell phone service provider. We're Patriot Mobile. It's not enough to simply talk about values. We live them. Defending life, protecting our First and Second Amendments, and celebrating our military and first responder heroes. We're boots on the ground making a difference. We're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider with nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks and 100% U.S.-based customer service. Join Patriot Mobile today and make an impact every time you use your cell phone.
America's founders warned that without knowledge and virtue, no nation can remain free. Yet through the steady infiltration of Marxist ideology, we have been stripped of both, and we are no longer a moral and educated people. To save America, we must spark nothing less than a national renaissance. That's why you need Freedom Talk Magazine, the journal of truth and virtue. We cultivate enlightened thinking and principled living, offering unique insights into the issues and remarkable people defining our world. Sign up today for your free subscription to Freedom Talk Magazine and join the new American Renaissance.
You know, most people think water's just about filtration, but in reality, it's about balance. What gets removed, what gets left behind, and how the water actually behaves once you drink it. Well, many traditional systems focus on one thing, removal. Reverse osmosis, for example, strips water down completely. It may sound ideal, but it removes minerals that our bodies need. The Century Wellness System was designed with a different philosophy. It removes common contaminants like chlorine, fluoride, and PFAS while restoring key minerals like magnesium and improving alkalinity. It also does all this without tanks and without wastewater and without requiring a complicated installation. It installs in about 15 minutes under your sink, so instead of overcorrecting, it brings your water back into balance. Please visit CenturyH2O.com and use promo code Lindell for 10% off your next purchase. Well, hello, everyone. Well, I'm turning 65, and let me tell you, Medicare has me confused. All the junk mail and the robocalls and everything else, it honestly feels like they rigged the system just to confuse us. Well, that's why I partnered and working with Chapter. They're independent, and they don't work for big insurance. They work for us. In fact, they're the only advisor that compares every single plan nationwide to find what actually fits your needs. If you're on the right plan, they tell you. If you're not, they're going to help you switch. And it's completely free. Just last year, seniors saved about $1,100 by finding a better plan with Chapter. So call Chapter at 234-LINDELL or go to askchapter.org/Lindell. Mike Lindell here. The radical left and the deep state aren't just coming for our freedoms, they're coming after our money too. For years, they've been destroying our economy from the inside out with reckless spending, open borders, woke policies that crush our businesses. And now they've left us with an inflation disaster that's wiping out the savings of our hardworking families. They don't want us to be independent. They want us to be dependent on the government. Well, that's not going to happen on my watch. That's why I partner with American Independence Gold. It's a veteran-owned company that's helping patriotic Americans fight back by protecting our savings with real physical gold and silver. And right now, they're giving away up to $15,000 in free silver and a free gold IRA kit. A portion of all the profits go to 9/11 first responders and veterans at the Tunnels to Towers Foundation. The deep state can't touch your gold, so visit MikeLindellGold.com or call 844-714-4653 right now. That's MikeLindellGold.com. Take back control.
Welcome to Vocal, the free speech social app that gives you a platform to amplify your voice. Speak freely, connect boldly, and be part of a growing movement for truth, faith, and freedom. Want to know what's happening right now? The Now Playing feature